YouTube, my name's Sean Connors and welcome back to a FanPub Fantasy Football FanPub video number 2, and this video is going to be all about American football, fantasy football, pretty much from a UK perspective, my perspective. And what has my perspective got to do with this? Well, you know, let's be honest, I do a lot of drafts every year. That does not make me an expert, but what it does do is it makes me seasoned, I suppose. So that makes me a seasoned person who has seen the peaks and troughs and been there, made every mistake possible, and now starts to actually start producing some reasonable results in the fantasy drafts. So this particular video is going to focus about trap players. And we're going to pick 2 out in particular who both face suspension. Both great players, both face suspension, and you have a big question mark to ask, should you take them? Players like, for example, Tom Brady and Le'Veon Bell are a brilliant example. You can find other trap players who are coming back from injuries. But these two both have suspensions hanging them over them. If you take the case of Tom Brady, and we'll look at his suspension in depth as it stands at the moment, he's suspended for 4 weeks. Interestingly, his bye week is in week 4, which doesn't count for the suspension purposes. That would mean he's suspended for week 5, if that makes sense. So he would not be back till week 6. Most fantasy seasons are 13 weeks long, generally. It depends on the game format that you're actually playing, but you get the idea that there's a serious trap here, because once you decide to pull the trigger on Tom Brady, and let's be honest, somebody's going to in your fantasy draft, and they're going to pull that trigger fairly quickly. I don't expect Tom Brady to stay on the board particularly very long. If you look at our live draft in the NFL Fantasy Pub site, and again, I'll leave a link on this video for you to go and have a look and join us, there's 16 teams in our draft, and clearly top quality quarterbacks are not around for very long, and I think we can easily put Mr. Brady in that particular group quite clearly. So somebody will pull the trigger very quickly, probably within inside the first 3 rounds. But that does mean, by definition, that they're going to have to take another quarterback. And also they're going to have to plan out when in our draft that's going to be and who's likely to be there. And the other problem, of course, is, God forbid that somebody take a Tom Brady and take another quarterback that also faces a bye week within that first sort of 5-week area because of the problem that Tom brings. Because then they've got to drop him. They've got to find another one to get on, or if they have an injury. So suddenly you've got to load your bench up with 3 quarterbacks, only one of which you can start, or you've got to drop somebody from your bench to make room for a quarterback. So very quickly you can see how quickly this becomes a trap player, because normally most people, what they'll do is take 1 quality quarterback, maybe 2, but 1 quality one, and try and load the bench up with more what I call lottery pick players. So that's really what a trap player is. And you can have the same conundrum with players that are coming back from injuries from the previous year. Are they going to be fit enough? Are they going to be ready in time? I suppose you could look at Sam Bradford as a good example, the new quarterback for the Eagles, ex-Rams quarterback. Let me be perfectly honest here. Any Rams fans that know me know I'm always honest. Yeah, it's a trap, isn't it? It's a very dangerous one. You end up with, you're going to need a second quarterback. Odell Beckham, I'm hearing, is having hamstring issues, which is quite interesting. So there's a lot of way up before the fantasy draft, but I'm giving you a small bit of insight on what I call trap players. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do comment. Please leave anything that you would like to see next in these videos, and we'll quite happily cover that off. Till the next time, take care of yourselves, and happy fantasy gaming. See you soon. Bye-bye.